After having installed the control unit as indicated in the technical manual, switch it on and check the preset parameters. When the power connector is plugged in, the following parameters appear on the display. BO indicates the loading of the bootloader program, the number of the firmware installed on the control unit, which can be upgraded via the USB port, the flashing S0, which, together with the error LED, which is turned on, indicates that the control unit is new and needs to be programmed. The transmitter should be memorized before starting to program the control unit. To do this, place the SLH transmitter in transmit mode by pressing buttons 1 and 2 simultaneously. When the LED flashes, release the buttons and press only the button that you wish to memorize. Keep it pressed until the LED remains on steadily. While keeping the transmitter button pressed, press the +R1 button on the control unit until the Radio 1 LED turns on. When the Radio 1 LED switches off, release the +R1 button and the transmitter button. To end the procedure, press the transmitter button twice. The Radio 1 LED turns on to confirm that the transmitter has been stored correctly. Start to program the basic parameters by keeping the F button pressed. DF appears on the display. When the button is released, the letter Y confirms that all parameters are the preset ones. If button F is pressed and held again, LO, operating logic appears. When the button is released, E appears, indicating that the preset logic is semi-automatic. Use the plus and minus buttons to select an operating logic that is most suited to your requirements. In our case, select logic A, which allows the operator to close automatically. If you keep button F pressed, PA appears. When the button is released, 30 appears, indicating that the pause time is 30 seconds. Use the plus and minus buttons to modify this value. If you keep button F pressed, the next value indicates the number of motors. 2 appears when the button is released. If we are installing a gate operator with only 1 motor, this parameter has to be modified. Still keeping button F pressed, F1 appears, which indicates the force of motor 1. The preset value is 25. For electromechanical operators, set the force accordingly to the characteristics of your gate. For hydraulic operators, set the force to 50 and then regulate the force on the operators. Keeping button F pressed causes F2 to appear. Use the plus and minus buttons to modify the force of motor 2 as well. Pressing the F button again causes EN to appear on the display. Press the plus and minus buttons, if necessary, to indicate if there is an encoder. If there is one installed, simply enable it with the letter Y. Otherwise, just leave no. If you keep button F pressed, the next item indicates the closing delay time of the second leaf. The preset value is 0.5, which corresponds to 5 seconds. Modify it if necessary. If you keep button F pressed, BU appears. If the button is released, NO appears. This means that all the bus devices connected to the control unit have not yet been detected. To do this, press the plus and minus buttons simultaneously until Y appears on the display. When these buttons are released, the horizontal line indicates that the operation in this configuration was completed successfully. Check that the green LED DL14 Bus Mon has turned on. Now check the operation of the motors. Pressing and holding button F causes M2, motor 2, to appear on the display. Leaf 2 should be open if the plus button is pressed. Leaf 2 should close if the minus button is pressed. Press and hold F to check the operation of motor 1, M1. Open and close leaf 1 by using the plus and minus buttons. If you keep button F pressed, TL appears, indicating that the gate setup procedure has been carried out. Before running the setup procedure, press the minus button to close leaf 2. And the plus button to close leaf 1. Now start the gate setup procedure by pressing and holding the plus and minus buttons simultaneously until leaf 1 opens. S1 appears on the display. When leaf 1 reaches the opening stop, give an open pulse on the transmitter. Leaf 2 opens and S2 appears on the display. When leaf 2 reaches the opening stop, give an open pulse on the transmitter to close leaf 2. S3 appears on the display. When the closing stop of leaf 2 is reached, another open pulse will close leaf 1. And S4 appears on the display. When leaf 1 is also completely closed, give an open pulse on the transmitter. 00 appears on the display to indicate that the procedure was carried out correctly and that the gate is ready for operation.